Okay guys, so we've been hooked up with some delicious meat from DukesHill here, and today we're going to be making something very interesting. We're going to go for our take on a ham hock, fresh squid and chili arancini ball. So I hope you enjoy this. Here is everything you're going to need to make this arancini. Okay, so after your ingredients are prepped and ready, the first thing you need to do is get your pan on a nice medium heat. So first to go in is that butter and oil. The moment your butter's melted, that is the time to get in your onions. You can add a pinch of salt. This will help draw out all the moisture from the onions, and then you can really cook out those sugars. So your onions have been sauteing away for 2 to 3 minutes, and that's when you want to add your carrots. Add a further small pinch of salt. So all your vegetables have been sauteing away for 4 to 5 minutes now. Time to add your rice. So next up, we're just going to add the white wine, and we're just going to pour this in, and we're going to cook it out until it's fully reduced. Next, we add the fish stock, and we're going to treat it the same as we do the white wine, except on this occasion, you're kind of going to be left with an overcooked kind of risotto mix. At this point, you can turn down the heat a little bit lower, so you're looking for kind of a medium to low heat, and you just want that to gently simmer. Okay, so this is where it gets very exciting. Now we get to add the remaining delicious ingredients. So I'm going to go in with some of the spring onion, like so. I'm going to add the parmesan, and this is just going to bind it all together. Okay, next up for the chopped chilies and fresh herbs. Next up, our squid. Then on to the ham hock. Look at that mix. And the very last ingredient, about half a teaspoon of squid ink. And this should turn everything a nice jet black. Okay, so all the arancini mix is brought together now. It's really important to just grab a spoon. It's rich, it's creamy, it's delicious. You've got that full flavour from the ham hock. You can taste the squid. The only thing that's missing is just a final pinch of salt. Okay, so a bit of preparation ahead of making your arancini balls. It's really important to get this mix nice and cool. So if you get a tray, where you can spread out the mix nice and flat, and then we're just going to pop this into the refrigerator for about 30-40 minutes. So next stage of preparation, I've got the deep fat fryer here. That's set at 170 degrees, and that's ready for the arancini to go in. And then we have our pane station. So this is where we're going to flour, egg wash, and breadcrumb the arancini mix. So first up, grab your eggs. I've got 3 here. I'm just going to crack them into the bowl, and I gently whisk them almost in like a figure of 8 pattern. Okay, so here's where it gets exciting. We're now going to ball our chilled mix into, I don't know, 5 or 6 balls. You can make them as big and small as you like. I do tend to go a little bit larger because otherwise you've got to do loads of panning, but that is completely up to you and how many guests you're serving as well. So, by eye, I just grab a small palm full of mix. I would probably guess that's probably about 60, 70 grams. And I'll just make up as many of these as I can. So here I've managed to make 8 arancini balls, going just a bit smaller than a golf ball size. So that is great. I'm very happy with that. So what I tend to do, because it can get a little bit messy, is I tend to get them all floured first. So I'll just grab one ball, I'll drop it into the flour, and I'll roll it in my hands like so. Dust off any excess. Okay, so we're going to do 2 balls at the same time. We're going to drop it into the egg mixture with one hand, like so. We're going to make sure it gets a nice even coating of egg wash. We're going to drop it into the breadcrumb mix with your other hand, keeping it as dry as possible. Just roll it around into the breadcrumbs. You can use your palm from your wet hand just to help press the breadcrumbs on. And then we're going to go for a double penne. So we're going to go back into the egg mix, roll it around like so, and we're just going to repeat that. It just gives you an extra crunch on the exterior, just keeps it nice and crispy. Okay, gloves are off, and here we have it, our 8 arancini balls. Look at those. I would probably say they're now the size of a golf ball. So with your fryer set at 170 degrees, these are now ready to go in. So a nice gentle dunk. So we're now going to leave these arancini balls to cook for probably about 8 minutes. Okay, so as predicted, about 8 minutes on these arancini balls. I've lifted the fryer up just to drain off the excess oil. So now, let's get a couple out. I'm going to go for 3. And I just want to see what it looks like in the center. So a nice serrated knife, straight down the middle. I can see absolutely everything. I can see the hock, I can see the squid tentacles, the chili, the spring onions, everything. Everything is there. And I'm really happy with that. So here, we've got a little guest for everybody. DukesHill also provided us some of this chorizo jam, and I'm very looking forward to putting this with the arancini. It smells fantastic, it's punchy, it's meaty, it's delicious, and I just want to get some of this on the plate right here. So I'm going to put that just in the center, and then a little bit of garnish just for color, and it's great for your guests at home. Just a tiny bit of shredded spring onion. So here we have it, the end result of our ham hock, fresh squid and chili arancini, accompanied by the chorizo jam. I just want to say thank you so much, DukesHill. It's been an absolute pleasure working with these ingredients, and you've really done it justice.